What myth is still widely circulated as truth? That you have to wait 24 hours before you can report a missing person. If someone is missing, go get help. The widespread knowledge of 24-hour waiting periods is a myth based in TV and movies where the family spends precious time frantically searching without assistance. It is not true in most locales and is virtually never required for missing juveniles or seniors with dementia. A missing person is closest to home, most likely still alive, and most likely still surrounded by clues and evidence within the first 24 hours. It is critically important that you engage the police as soon as your loved one is inaccessible or profoundly late. ABC News did a report on why the first 72 hours in a missing person case are critical. They emphasize that it is not necessary to wait 24 hours before filing a report. FindLaw.com calls the waiting period a myth. There is no waiting period. Many shows and movies have publicized the 24 or 48-hour waiting period to report missing people, but that doesn't exist in real police offices. As soon as you know an adult or child is missing, report it to police. Child Find of America calls this waiting period a myth. They advise contacting local police immediately. And those police departments that do require waiting periods do not require them for juveniles. If an HIV-positive person has sex with another HIV-positive person, they don't have to worry about protection. They do, because there are 140 different strains of the HIV/AIDS virus, and getting infected with another strain, especially a potentially deadlier one, could be dangerous. Also, pregnancy is still a very big risk for HIV-positive women. If you are considering a sexual relationship, get tested, and talk to your doctor about birth control. Just want to point out that women can be HIV positive while pregnant and not pass on HIV to their baby as long as they take the correct medications during pregnancy. They can even have a vaginal delivery if their viral loads are low at the time of the birth. This obviously doesn't address someone just not wanting to get pregnant, but lots of people also believe that you can't responsibly continue a pregnancy if you're HIV positive, and that's also false. Edit: I have never gotten an award before and now I got one for being helpful. Thank you, kind stranger. I am happier about this than should be possible over fake internet awards. Smiley face. This is very true. I was fortunate enough to have been born HIV negative to an AIDS positive mother. This is one of the most upsetting things that I see in people who don't properly understand HIV/AIDS. They think that you are given a death sentence if you're born to someone with the disease. You're not. You do have to be very careful, but it's not immediate. Can we please work to educate and help eliminate the stigma around this disease? People in general, though the world was flat until Columbus sailed the ocean blue. No, the ancient world figured that out a long time before. People just thought that it wasn't possible to sail across the ocean to Asia because sailors would run out of food by then, while Columbus thought that wasn't case because he thought Asia was bigger than contemporary estimates. He actually thought the diameter of Earth was much smaller than contemporary estimates, too. He was very wrong. The standard estimates were accurate, but he got lucky. Not even contemporary estimates. Eratosthens had done a pretty good estimate in the 3rd century BCE. The white on blue roundel in the BMW logo represents the white blades of a propeller against the blue sky, alluding to BMW's history as a manufacturer of aircraft engines. This myth was popularized in BMW's advertising for aircraft engines, and perpetuated by the movie Finding Forrester. In truth, the blue and white come from the Bavarian flag, presented as a circular coat of arms in reverse order to avoid a trademark law prohibiting the use of symbols of state sovereignty in a commercial trademark. It was only in later marketing for aircraft engines they overlaid the logo over spinning propellers, as coincidentally it could be taken to look like a propeller against the sky. They made all sorts of engines for land vehicles as well. I was adamantly told by some seniors at work not to drink the water that boiled twice because it cooks the oxygen out of it. What is with seniors and water that's been boiled twice? My grandmother used to say that it would make the water radioactive. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that a woman that had been a chemist her entire working life believed this. Though I've heard others who grew up in the Soviet Union, like my grandmother, echo this, so perhaps it's some silly propaganda that stuck. That shaving makes your beard grow better. When I was a teenager, A lot of people told me that shaving would make my beard grow faster. Well, I didn't want to shave any more than I absolutely had to, so I often went weeks at a time without shaving. It wasn't the best look for me. The idea was that a teenager who'd keep patchy growth on would really want good facial hair, so the whole "shave it to make it more prominent" was just a clever way for adults to convince teenagers to keep that dirt stash off. That the US spent over $1 million in 2 years to develop a pen that could work in space, whereas the Soviets decided to just use a pencil. In the early days, both used pencils, but since pencils are made out of graphite, and graphite is conductive, snapped graphite particles are dangerous in a pressurized space capsule, to put it lightly. Fisher, the owner of the pen company, spent his own money to develop a pressurized ballpoint pen. And cost only about $3 per pen. Edit: I was wrong on the price, the pens first cost about $6 per pen for NASA. Edit 2, did some digging on the grease pens. Apparently the thought was that they wouldn't be durable enough on paper, and the paper shroud of the grease pen would still need to be disposed of, and thought it might be a problem.